Good morning, good morning. Welcome to Coffee and Cards. It is, well, now 11:12, but initially I pushed the button at 11:11 and then realized we weren't live yet. So now we are. Welcome. Let me know if you're here. Leave me a comment, say hello, let me know how you're doing. Let me know what kind of questions or insights you might need from the cards today. It is Thursday, April 29th. This will be our last Coffee and Cards of April. And yeah, April's already almost over. It's crazy, isn't it? If this is your first time here or first time watching, we will be using the Spiritual Support for Entrepreneurs, which is a 44 card deck with a 138-page guidebook. It's a pretty large guidebook for an oracle deck, and that's because each one of the cards has its own insight that digs a little deeper into the meaning of the cards. And the other aspect of the cards, well, there's two other aspects of the physical cards themselves. There's the words that appear on the card, but there's also the images. And both are designed to give you that insight. So whether you are a visual person or not, you can receive the messages by just looking at the card and reading the words, looking at the pictures. But you've also got this guidebook you can go into and check it out. Good morning, Robert. I see some people coming on. Morning, Heather. How are you guys doing? I really thought today was not going to happen on here because I was having so many problems with my streaming and getting that going this morning. It was really interesting. I hadn't had that before. So you'll see a featured link in the window now. That's where you can go to order your very own Oracle deck. So you can use these at any time. And with that, let's get started. Oh, Heather's saying it's a beautiful morning in California. Yeah, it's kind of muggy here. It rained all night last night, which is nice. And the creek is flowing. Robert says he's waiting for the completion to complete. Yeah, that is part of it, isn't it? And I had a lot of that completion come up during the week. I don't know about you guys, and we talked about that on Monday. The energetic completion and physical completion. I really thought about that a lot this week. I also was sort of having my own little pity party yesterday, so I pulled some cards, and as always, I pulled Trust, which says trust must arise from the peace you hold within yourself. Begin here. The other cards I chose were research, and for me, that has to do with spinning thoughts, or how I've described as going down the rabbit hole or getting on the train, the drama train. And the research card says sometimes you need specific answers. Find those and move on. And all of that stuff came up because I appeared in Clubhouse. And I've been on Clubhouse a few times just listening in. But yesterday I thought I'm going to take the chance and, be a speaker in one. So I did. And I felt really scared, but I did it anyway. And then after I was done, I totally crapped all over myself for some reason. Like what I said wasn't important, or it was really kind of interesting to observe. So I spent the rest of the day sort of as Debbie Downer. But when I pulled my cards, I understood, because I have to trust that when I get that drive to do something or step out in front, I need to trust that that's the right thing. And the research part of it is don't go over my words over and over, trying to prove those old negative thoughts, because that's really what they are. It's just a habit. So with that, let's pull a card to either let us know what we need what we've learned this week, what we need to know going into the weekend. Let me know what you guys are looking for today. We pull a collective card for everyone. And then as time allows, anyone that would like a card, you just let me know in the comments and I will pull one for you. So we'll build off the collective card and pull a card specifically for you. It may also explain the collective card in your specific situation. So I'm interested to see what will come up today, which will give us some insight from the week, or what can we expect more of, or let's see. It's always fascinating to see what comes up. Waiting is what we've got today. Sometimes it's what you need to do, and sometimes it's a game. So, and you'll see in this photo, if you can see it close up, this is a picture of a pond in the park nearby that I took. When I went there, it was not quite fully winter, but in the picture, the pond is half frozen and half not. So I thought that really illustrated what this waiting could be. So is waiting what you need to do? So this water that isn't frozen yet is waiting to be frozen, or are you just playing a game, which would be procrastination or sort of stalling out of fear, that sort of thing, but just showing the differences between the two. Even though they're in the same pond, part is frozen, and maybe that's because of temperature, maybe, I don't know. And then the other part just isn't quite there yet. So is it not quite there because it's not cold enough, or, you know, maybe something happened in that part. So, oh, Robert, waiting. Yeah, and you had just said that, right? So Robert says he was just thinking of waiting. Yeah, it's really interesting. So each of us have different things going on in our lives. So the waiting for you could be in a project or people, or I don't know. Just take a look at where you're at, and are you waiting around for something? Are you stalling certain tasks because you don't like to do them? I mean, we all do that. And I mean, I can think in my example of being on Clubhouse, I was in that room for a while and I was stalling, pushing the button to raise my hand, and it felt really scary. And then I almost was excited when I pushed it, and then you could take it back. So you could say, are you ready, or not now? So I thought that was really interesting. So I think I probably did push it and say not now once, but then I just knew I needed to do it for whatever reason. Maybe it was just to go through that whole process of reminding myself that I still have some of that negative self-talk. So yeah, look at your situations and see where it is that you're waiting. But sometimes you have to wait. Let's look at just want to read a little bit from here. Waiting is an energetic place, and this comes from the guidebook. So in this case, the waiting card also has a quote that goes with it, and it says, "You may delay, but time will not," and that's Benjamin Franklin. Waiting is an energetic place. Sometimes it's precisely what you need to do and be. Sometimes it's a game you're playing with yourself. Let's look at the two concepts. There are times when waiting is perfect. You've done all the work, you've communicated to those involved, or have done all the steps and tasks before you. There's divine timing at play in our lives. Part of your success is understanding that as life moves, it's like a chessboard. Many pieces need to participate in the dance before two arrive at the same place on the grid. Then is waiting is good. When you are waiting for other pieces to arrive, other people to complete, contemplate, decide, or show up in your realm. That's a peaceful place if you allow it to be so. This is a place where you get to choose your actions freely. You can play, breathe, create something new, focus on another task, go to the movies, and enjoy yourself. Waiting in this place is aligned and is right, perfect, and comfortable. Let's talk about the other aspect, the playing of the game of waiting. There's an inner state that this is an inner state that does not feel good. You might say, I'm waiting for the right time. How many of us have said that? The answers to come, the other person to decide. I know I'm definitely one of those. You know, when I feel afraid and I don't want to make the decision, you sort of, lay back and wait for others to make it. You stall out any other inspired or guided actions. Even going to the movies is an inspired action when it feels right, and you have done all your tasks. Going to the movies when deep inside there is an itch and a calling to do more, or the nitty-gritty tasks that are perhaps less enjoyable but necessary to your success, that is when the waiting place does not serve you. Each encounter with waiting is a gift and an opportunity for you to travel deeper within yourself, to discover, discern, and learn. So let's look at our own situations and lives and see where we're waiting or creating that waiting place. So that's a great card just to remind us to observe ourselves a little bit more. Yeah, Robert, you're always talking about completion and that waiting, and then both of those things are in that description. Rosalind, I'd love to pull a card for you. Looking for support to move forward, releasing blocks, moving past procrastination. Yes. Yes. Okay. So, Rosalind, for you, I think based on just what you said and what you're looking for, you may be playing a game with yourself as far as waiting. So it's not about shaming, it's just about seeing where you are, but maybe looking at it. I like that we describe it as a game because that seems more playful and fun. So I like to look at myself in a funnier, observant way, not in a shaming way. So you can say, oh, that's interesting, or there I go again, or there's that critical voice, or whatever it is, and look at yourself sort of as a little comedy show you're watching. So, which sometimes can be a dramatic show, of course, but if you are entertained by it more than just like being in the middle of it. But let's pull a card and see if we can get any more insight for you specifically, Rosalind, on how to move past this area where you're feeling like you're already waiting or playing a game. And we got 2 cards for you today, Rosalind. Alone. You're never alone, not really. And experience. You are not obligated to have, do, or be anything. So, are you having some doubts about what it is you're trying to move forward with? You can let me know in the comments. Because based on these 2 cards I just pulled, to me, it's saying that these are the reason you are in this space of playing a game or waiting. Alone and experience. Let's look at, I know we've looked at alone quite a few times. And what this is a reminder of, clearly, is you are not alone. But I'm thinking for you, actually, there's some sort of conflict between what you know is great and needed and you're doing, but there's some sort of doubt that you're having. And so I think I'm going to read for you the experience card. You are here for the experience. You are in human form to have physical experiences and have a range of emotions, thoughts, predictability, and outcomes. All other realms are light realms, non-physical, in which answers are immediate, and there is no exploration, no play, no cosmic wondering, no problems, only solutions. Pure knowingness exists outside of the human form. Your business, your work, and your creations are a gift of experience, of thought, of meandering, of wondering, of exploring form. This type of experience is not available in the light realm. We invite you to choose to see this work that you do as a place to know and understand your physical limitations, as well as your great power in creating such exciting lives. You get to create an interesting life. You are not obligated to have, do, or be anything. You get to choose this work, this play, this rest, and you are not to judge others for their experiences or choices. Life obligation, contracts, karmic debts, and soul agreements lie behind some of what is happening for you as your soul continues to grow and expand. Throw out your expectations that things are going to go a certain way. Things do not always go the way you think they will. That does not make them wrong. Your choices affect outcomes. The cosmic chess game affects outcomes. Other people's soul contracts and life agreements affect outcomes. Enjoy the ride. Let it be exhilarating. In its unknown possibilities and its unknown outcomes, you are not wrong. The results are not incorrect. Nor is it ever right. It is merely human physical experience. Do you see this? How does this knowledge change your perspective of your work and your life? For it is all intertwined, inseparable from who you truly are. Allow others their experience and dive deeper into yours, for this is what brought you into physical form. So, Rosalind, if you are still there, let me know if that was helpful. But for me, it sounds like there's some doubt or maybe expectations even, or fear of an outcome that might be forcing you into this waiting game instead of waiting for a purpose. And that's okay. It's just now's the time to recognize it, and choose to do something different or not. Like it says, you're not obligated to have, do, or be anything. So you can wait here for as long as you want. But I'm thinking, since you're asking the question, you would like to move forward, as you said there, releasing blocks and moving past procrastination. So I hope that gives you some insight there. It feels a little clearer to me what's going on with you. So let's pull a card for Robert. Okay. We'll get these guys back in here. Oops, I turned them upside down. Let's see where we are with Robert today. Ooh, looks like everybody's having multiple cards today. So I'm going to move waiting over to the side because so many fell out for you, Robert, that I'm going to need some more space. So, and it's interesting to see they're all in the, I mean, there's so many colors in this deck, but these are all, I mean, these two look almost like they're from the same photo, even though they're not. So let's look at this. The answers you seek lie within, and your work is best served and received when you come from love. And your business is in your life to teach you. So interesting about waiting for others that you were saying in your comments. So you already know the answer. That's what this card is saying. And if you don't, but I'm sensing you do know the answer, which is why you're waiting. And just keep coming from a place of love. And I believe we talked about this before with your, we were looking at partners and some other things. So just know that your work or anybody's work or a gift or anything is better received when it comes from love. So Um, and all of these lessons are teaching you, whether it's in your business or your home life or whatever it is, all of this is designed to teach you. So I look at this card that I took in the Galapagos for learning, and it's all these trees lined up along the road. So to me, it's like you're on your path of life or work or whatever it is, and these trees represent the lessons along the way. Oh, hi, Chrissy. Welcome back. So, oh, Robert saying excellent. Thank you. You're so welcome. Feels like to me, like these are really positive, reassuring, sort of, you're on the right track sort of reading for you today. And yeah, good. Feeling good about that one. So we still got some time. So if anybody would like a card, just tell me in the chat and we will add to our waiting card that we pulled for everybody about observing whether you are waiting because there's other people and how it described a chess game, or are you waiting because you're afraid to take the next step? So, oh, and Chrissy's saying, oh, she's been pulling every day and it is so spot on. Oh, awesome. Good. I know it's crazy sometimes that they just know what you need to hear. It's sometimes I forget that, like, I was part of I created this. I was part of creating this. Like, really? Like, it feels almost separate, not in a negative way, but like I was somewhere else or another lifetime when I did it. It's really interesting. But I guess when you are creating in alignment, in spirit, all of that in an intuitive form, like that's sort of how it feels. So sure, I'll pull one for you, and then Heather. So, and this one, oh, everybody's getting multiples today. So interesting. It never happens like this that they all just keep jumping out. So, Chrissy, for you, we've got teamwork. Each of you has a contract that you choose to subscribe to or not. And then we've got justify. Both cards have pictures of trees. So we're definitely seeing these themes in the pulls today. And justify says you do not have to justify your life or your living. You are divine. And so this combination is really interesting because what this says is you have a choice. You have a choice who comes into your team, whose team you're a part of. And then you don't have to justify either one. So you don't have to justify your choice of participating or not, or somebody else's choice. They don't have to justify to you. So interesting. So for you, the waiting may not be you. It may be waiting for these other people to arrive or decide if they're going to participate, or for you to decide how you're going to participate somewhere else. And make sure that you make your decisions based on your own alignment. And remember that you don't have to explain yourself or any of that. Your decision is your decision and your choice. So Heather says that's so great that your spouse is getting into the cards. And Christy says so perfect and great reminders. Yes, definitely. Yeah, we all just need reminders. I mean, this stuff, I guess we know innately, but we all need reminders. So let's pull a card now for Heather. Let's see if we've got anybody else on here. If you're watching us live, let me know. If you want a card, I'll pull one for you and we can talk about it. Oh, and Chrissy, you pulled teamwork and justify early this week. Okay, so what I recommend, since you have the deck, is that you go to the guidebook and reread both of those. Let me just get this camera back on track. There we go. Reread teamwork and justify. So if you pulled it earlier in the week and then you re-pull it, it's reminding you. So there's something that you haven't quite grasped in that. It's not, reread it. That's all. Just reread it. There may be some words or phrases or something that comes up. Oh, good. You have a journal that you're keeping track. That's perfect, because it's hard to remember, like, which card. Sometimes I can't remember which card we picked on Monday, So that's exactly why we created the companion journal to go with the deck too. And if you haven't gotten that download already, let me know and I'll send you that file, or put it up on our website for you to download. Just helps you keep track of your readings and helps you keep track if you needed. I'm always pulling trust. So I pull it so many times, like I already know I need to be reminded of it, and I'm continually reminded of it. So in that case, like, I don't have to track that one, but there are others that have reappeared. That it's cool to see, like, your progression. Oh, you're welcome. I'll send you that link for you to download the journal, because that is part of your purchase. When you purchase a deck, is you get that for free. So I will post that, or I'll just send it to you, Chrissy. And let's see, trying to pull a card for Heather. Heather, is there something specific? It feels like you're not really putting out what it is you want clarity on, which is because it's not coming out. So the cards are waiting. What would you like to know about? Tell me in the chat, please. I think she's saying, I think it's just, it might be. Let me give it a few more little things. See if we get anything coming out. Well, and it's starting to move around a little bit, and maybe it's just you realizing it's waiting. But you got the perfect card to go with it. Patience. All that is yours is coming. So I think you just need to wait. All that's yours is coming. Waiting for my students to get to work and realizing it's out of my control. Yes, it is out of your control. And I think that's the literal answer for it. But what other areas? So remember, whatever shows up in our business also shows up in our lives, our tendencies, our habits, our all of it. It's all reflected everywhere. So the same thing you're doing with your students, so where are you doing that outside of work? Just time to observe that. That's it. Not, again, not to shame yourself, but to observe and either make another choice or continue on. It's up to you. Yeah, Robert, the cards are waiting for the right one to pop out. Yes, they are. Well, and I think as soon as Heather realized waiting is really the theme for her, then we got this other card, which really sort of narrated the whole situation. Patience, 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 patience. All that is yours is coming. But not only that, but sometimes it takes patience with ourselves to break old habits. Just like with me and my self-talk, that's an old habit, and having patience with myself and taking care of myself when that kind of stuff comes up, because it's going to. You don't get through these things and then it just, like you graduate and it never comes up again. That's not how it works. So patience, and just make sure you're waiting for the right reason. So great cards today, guys. I really appreciate you being here and allowing me to use the cards and, get my own insight as I am offering the same to you. So I hope you guys have a great Friday Eve, and have a nice weekend, and get outside. Use your cards. Use your cards outside. Take pictures of them. Post them for me so I can share them on social. If you don't have a deck yet, you can purchase it at entrepreneurauracle.com, and there's a link up in the window now. And I will share also the featured link. Actually, I just like the live link now, so we'll just keep using that. I'm trying the purchase your deck today that goes directly to the website now. And have a great weekend, rest of your week, whatever your week looks like. I hope it's great, and I hope you just can spend some more time being kinder to yourself and observing your thoughts, and, just enjoying life. So have a great weekend. Love you all. Have a great and lovely day.